2. Daniel. Her Darkest Fears is my 12th book, and like all my novels that preceded it, all thrillers, it's a thumping success. That level of success means I'm invited for signings at bookstores around the country. Today is one such event. Though I've done this many times over the course of my career, until today I've been excited every single time. I don't take my achievements for granted, appreciating the fact that my fans adore me and are eager to meet me in person. And Plentiful Books holds a special place in my heart. It's where I had my first signing 21 years ago for my debut novel, Righteous Kill. Bookstores are reader heaven, and cozy indie bookstores like Plentiful Books are top tier heaven, if such a thing exists. Stopping as soon as I enter the store, I gawk at the books on display. I'd like nothing better than to stroll around, browse the shelves, and inhale the aroma of fresh, unread books as I try to escape my woes. But I have work to do. As always, I'm a bit nervous. The key difference between my first book signing and this one is that I'm a lot more confident now, which is not surprising given my accomplishments since then. I lift my gaze from the books to take in the rest of the store. It's packed. It's a lovely sight, and the owner, Brandon, looks excited, but it fails to energize me, given the concerns weighing on my mind. He welcomes me inside enthusiastically. Soon he's introducing me to the audience, and the applause comforts me. I muster a smile and a few words of gratitude before getting down to business. I breeze through my reading on autopilot and plant myself at the table as the readers line up eagerly, copies of Her Darkest Fears in hand. I get through them one by one, signing the books while making small talk. There are paperbacks and hardcovers, and I reserve my wildest smiles for the ones who purchase the hardcovers, because I have a soft spot for the hardbacks, dust jacket and all. The enthusiasm from my fans and the conversations with them help me settle into a rhythm. An older man, probably around the age my father would have been if he were alive today, tells me how he has read every one of my novels cover to cover, and he's looking forward to devouring this one tonight. A young woman tells me her husband's a huge fan, but he couldn't make it since he had to work. She's going to surprise him with a copy. Lucky guy. How about you? Have you read any of my work? I ask. She shrugs, looking a bit embarrassed. Sorry, I don't read. Then she cracks a grin. But I'd watch the Netflix series if they ever make one. I chuckle and sign the book before handing it back to her. Yeah, I'd be thrilled if someone produced a movie or show based on one of my books. She mouths a thank you as she leaves. As she departs, I spot a woman farther down the queue, dark hair falling to her shoulders, enticing eyes, and a body that's slender with curves in all the right places. In short, a stunner. I have a hard time getting through the next few readers because my heart's thumping and I can't wait for the woman to approach. My mind wanders, imagining what it would be like to hold her in my arms, to place my lips on hers, and it lifts my spirits. It's wrong, I know, but these are just thoughts. Not that I wouldn't be justified in acting on them, considering the mischief Heather's been up to. Speaking of Heather, I wonder what she's doing right now. Is she in bed with her lover again? There was a time when she would accompany me to signings. Even the children came along when they were younger, but they got busy with their own lives once they hit their teens. Heather dropped out around the same time they did. Now it's only me and my sad self. Suddenly, I feel alone. But I shouldn't feel sorry for myself, because the beauty's beaming as she steps up to my table and places her copy before me. A hardcover. She's gushing, telling me how much she admires my work and how blessed she considers herself to have this opportunity to meet me in person. Up close, there's something familiar about her face and her mannerisms, the way she talks, but I'm sure I've never met her. Who do I make this out to? I ask, as my most charming smile spreads across my face. Penelope, she replies. Penelope Hayek. That's a beautiful name. Thank you. She blushes, and my heart beats a wee bit faster. Dear Penelope, it's a pleasure to meet you, I write, before signing it. As I raise my gaze to hand the book back to her, she bends, just enough to give me a generous view of her cleavage. Something stirs inside me. I wish you could sign me sometime, she whispers with a wink. I'm sure I landed only a subtle glance at her chest, but she must have caught me gawking. I sense myself turning red, partly because I'm embarrassed, but also partly because I'm flattered that she's interested. It's an unexpected proposition, and I relish the thought, almost replying with a flirtatious remark of my own. But I restrain myself at the last moment. You live close by, Penelope? I try to sound casual. I'm only 5 minutes from here, and you can call me Pen. Now that's convenient. Temptation mounts, but a voice inside cautions me to resist. See you around, Pen, I say as I place a book in her hands and glance behind her to the next person in the queue. She stays put for an instant, and her face tells me she wasn't expecting this brush off. But she eventually gets the hint and walks away. I content myself with a glimpse of her swaying hips and images of what might have been before turning my attention to the next fan. It's ironic how I meet attractive women at signings. Women who tempt me to cheat on Heather, considering that's how I met her. It was at this same store and my first ever signing. Plentiful Books had been gracious enough to invite me, a struggling, unknown author pushing his first novel. But that's the beauty of indie bookstores. At the time, I was published by a small press, having taken that route after rejections from dozens of agents. This was before self-publishing became a thing and opened the floodgates for authors to make their dreams come true. Only 5 people showed up at the event. Heather was one of them. I was sinking into depression until she arrived and lit up the place. She flashed me a reassuring smile, as if she could sense what I was going through. Her presence gave me the strength to get through the reading. I guess I did well enough, because some of the other customers in the store stopped to listen and to me speak. Heather was first in line when I moved on to the signing. With her blonde hair and blue eyes, she wasn't my type, but there was something arresting about her, a quality that made me want to spend time with her. But I couldn't muster the courage to ask for her number. I sold a total of 10 copies that day. It didn't make much of an impact on the tepid sales figures, but Brandon assured me he loved the book and he would continue to promote it. It was nice of him to say that, but it didn't help improve my mood. What did help was seeing Heather waiting for me by the door as I packed up my things and exited the store. I hope you don't think I'm stalking you, she said, waving my book in her hand. But this is great. You already started reading it? Yeah. At first I thought I'd just read the first page, but it sucked me right in. I'm on page 100. Wow, you're a fast reader. That I am. She directed a stray strand of hair away from her face and behind her ear. Any any plans for the evening? I surprised myself by asking, unsure about my next move. Other than finishing this? No. Join me for coffee? I blurted it out before I could chicken out. Sure, she replied, the dimples in her cheeks making me go weak in the knees. I tumbled into love with her over cappuccinos and slices of banana bread. We talked and talked and talked, sharing our backgrounds, our interests, our dislikes. She told me she was an avid supporter of indie stores and had just come to browse when she saw the sign for my event. Having never attended a live author event, she decided to give it a shot. Lucky me. Based on those first 100 pages, she predicted that Righteous Kill would be a bestseller. I didn't believe her, at the time, modestly waving away the heaps of praise she laid on me. But there was a truth to what she said, because sales picked up soon after, thanks to word of mouth. By the time we married a year later, I was a moderately successful author on his way to releasing his second novel. By the third one, I had better agents and publishers reaching out to me. Career-wise, there was no looking back after that. Daniel Geraldi, best-selling author. That's what they started calling me, causing my chest to swell with pride. To this day, I'm convinced Heather's my lucky charm, and I owe my success to her presence by my side. The next fan pulls me back to the present, and I continue with the small talk and signing books. It's another hour before the queue dries up and I get to wrap up. A successful day by any measure. I should be delighted. But this event was just a distraction, and now that it's over, all I can think about is Heather and her lover in that motel room.